Hello everyone and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, we will be sublimating on Slate. I am going to show you how to create a design inside of Cricut Design Space, and I'm also going to show you how to create a design inside of Canva. Now, the first thing we'll do is look at the materials, and then I will take you step by step through both processes. At any time during this tutorial, if you find it helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's look at materials and then we'll head straight over to the computer. The materials I'm using for this project include, I purchased a 6-pack of Slate from Amazon. These are Sublimation Slate blanks. They come individually boxed with these holders. I'm using Hippo Sublimation ink, a sub 125 gram paper. This is for sublimation. I'm using a Cricut Easy Press mat. I'm using butcher paper, Cricut heat resistant tape, heat resistant gloves. I'm using my StarCraft 15 by 15 clamshell heat press, and my printer is an Epson EcoTank 2760 series printer, and I have the Hippo Sublimation ink inside. Now let's head over to the computer so that I can show you how to create a design inside of Cricut Design Space. I am in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I'm going to do is click New Project. I am going to click Upload, and I'm going to navigate to the photo that I plan to use for this tutorial. I'm going to click Add to Canvas, and I'm going to click View. When the image comes in, I can look at my layers panel and see that the image is already too big for what Cricut Design Space will allow. And it's okay because I'm not going to use the image at this size anyway. The next thing I'm going to do is click Shapes. I'm going to choose a square, and I am going to resize the square to a width of 7.5, and I'm going to click Unlock, and I'm going to change the height to 5.35. Now this rectangle will represent the size of the image that will go on top of the photo slate. I'm going to change this rectangle from a basic cut. When I look at my operation type where I'm hovering right here, I'm going to change it to a pen. The reason why I'm doing that is because I am going to use this to make sure that I am not cutting off any part of the image that I actually want to keep. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here on top, and I am going to just make sure of where I want the image to go and make sure it's fit perfectly. Now I'm going to select the image and the rectangle. I'm going to click Align, and I'm going to center this horizontally. Okay, so it's perfect right there. Now I'm going to, with both of those selected, the image and the rectangle, I'm going to click Slice. Once I do that, that will give me 3 things in my layers panel. I have the rectangle, I have the image, which is the same size as the rectangle, and I have this piece of the photo that I don't need anymore. I'm going to delete this. What I'm going to do now is change this rectangle back to a basic cut. The reason why I'm changing it back to a basic cut is because I'm actually going to use it on top of my photo. I'm going to go over here to Operation Type at the top where I'm hovering, and I'm going to select Basic, and I'm going to change the size of this. I'm going to keep the width at 7.5, but I'm going to change the height. So I'm going to unlock this rectangle, and I'm going to bring the height down to 1.65. I'm not changing the width at all. When I look at this rectangle and I look at my image, I am going to change this rectangle to a color that will complement the colors that are in the photo. As you can see in the photo, everyone is wearing white and denim. So I am going to change the color of this rectangle to a color that will complement that.
I'm going to click right here on the color option, and I can just change it to this light blue and see if I like it. I think that's too light. Or I can change it to this darker blue and put it over here and see if I like that. I think that looks nice. But if I wanted more options, I can still click on the material colors, and I can click on this plus option, and I can move this dot around to kind of play with the colors a little bit more to see if I like any of those. Now I do want the color to be a little vibrant, but I don't want it to overpower the photo. I think I'm going to go with that blue right there, and I think this will look nice once I put it all together. The next thing I'm going to do is click text, and I am going to move the text box over. I'm going to type my text, which is just going to say Happy Mother's Day. And I'm going to hit the enter key one time, and I'm going to type 2023, and I'm going to take this box and I'm going to move it down like right here, and I am going to, let's see, okay, I'm going to put it on top just like that, and I'm going to change the color of the text to white. Now I can keep it just like this. I think it looks nice. I think that, you know, you can read it very easily. It's not, you know, too overpowering. I think it looks great. However, if I want to change the text, I'm going to select the text, and I'm going to go over here to font and look at some of the options. Now within Cricut Design Space, now I am a Cricut Access member, so I can look at some of the suggestions from Cricut, or I can use one of my system fonts. Right now, Mother's Day is selected, and within the suggestions for Mother's Day, there are 15 selections that Cricut is offering. So I can kind of just scroll down and see what they are suggesting and see if I like any of these. Now, for most of these, honestly, I don't like them, but there is one that's called BFC Love Notes that I do like. So I'm going to click that one, and I like it. I really think it looks nice. I'm going to go with that one. But what I'm going to change is I'm going to go back and change the color of it to white. And I'm also going to reduce the line space. So right here where it says line space, I'm going to actually bring it down so that 2023 is closer to the word, or to the words Mother's Day. Okay. And if I want to make it bigger, I can, but I actually think it looks nice just like this. And then I'm going to select the rectangle and the text, and I'm going to click align, and I want to center this. Okay, I just want it to be centered. And now I am going to flatten this. I think this looks really good. Okay, so now my width is still 7.5 and my height is 1.65. What I'm going to do is just bring this right here on top of my photo, and I'm going to bring it down. I want to make sure it's down here at the bottom. Okay, and I am going to make sure, I'm going to select the photo and my little rectangle, or my label, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to click align, and I want to align it to the bottom. Okay, and I think that looks fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to select the image and the rectangle piece. My width is still 7.5. My full height, the height of everything is 5.35. I'm going to flatten all of this together. This is perfect. I'm still within Cricut Design Space's allowable space, and now I'm going to click Make It. Okay, so I have one product on my mat. My material size is 8.5 by 11. I am going to click Continue. I am going to click Send to Printer. I am going to I'm going to turn the ad bleed off because I don't need it, but I am going to turn the Use System dialog on, and I'm going to navigate to my Epson 2760 printer. This is the printer that I use for sublimation. I'm going to click Print, and then my print dialog box will come up. Okay, I'm going to navigate to that printer, my Epson 2760 series. I'm going to click Preferences, and I am going to select my sublimation preset with the mirror on. I am going to do a print preview, and I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click print, and I should get a preview of what my printed image will look like. My words should be mirrored and my photo will be mirrored. This is absolutely perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to click print, and everything that I'll do from here will be back on the camera.
Here is my printed image. As you can see, it's not very vibrant. It may look vibrant, but it's going to look even more vibrant once it goes on top of the slate. What I'm going to do is cut away all of these registration marks because I'm not going to actually allow my Cricut to cut this out. My slate right here is cleaned off with my lint roller. I just went across it a couple of times. What I'm going to do now is get the image taped to the slate, and I'm making sure that none of the white is showing, that I don't have anyone's face cut off or anything like that. And I'm just going to take a few pieces of my heat resistant tape, and I'm going to get it taped down. And I'm going to place this on my heat press, and I'll place a piece of butcher paper on top of this. My heat press is set to 356 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 minutes. I'm going to place a piece of butcher paper right here on top. I do have it on medium pressure, so it's not firm, it's not heavy, and it's not light. So I want to close this and allow this to go. All right, so it's beeping, and I'm going to carefully open it, and I'm going to make sure that I have my gloves and my heat resistant mat ready because the slate is going to be super hot. Just remember, it's been pressing for 450 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to just put my mat right here and remove the butcher paper. I'm actually not going to reveal it just yet. Let's do our design in Canva and give this some time to cool down.
Let's look at how to create a design in Canva. I'm on the main page of Canva, the home page. I'm going to click custom size, and by default, the size is automatically set to pixels. Change it to inches. I'm going to make sure the width is set to 5.35 and the height is 7.5. Going to click create design or enter. When the image option opens up, or the blank sheet opens up, the next thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm on elements right here in the left panel, and I'm going to do a search for frames. Okay, and I want this option right here. I'm going to click see all, and what I'm doing is navigating to a frame that will take up the full size of the my image size. Okay, so I'm just looking at all of the options right here, and in my opinion, this option right here is the most reasonable, or the one that is the best match for me for this tutorial. Okay, so I'm looking at all of these, and I like this option right here. And what I'm going to do is resize it so that I actually don't have this frame around it, because I did not see one. Well, I could use a square. I did not see one that was, well, let me change it to this one right here. I think this one is fine. It still has that frame around it, which I really don't need, but it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to do is just stretch this all the way out so that that outer frame is not showing. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to use a file or an image that I already have uploaded. I normally save my photos in Google Photos. So this is the photo that I'm using. It's an older photo of my family. And I am going to go back to uploads and I'm just going to click upload. Okay, so I have the image right here. Let me watch what happens if I just drag and drop the image to the frame. Okay, it just takes the shape of the frame. I love this. It looks perfect in my opinion. Now, what I'm going to do is also use an SVG that I have uploaded here. If you're not familiar with how to upload an SVG, you would just navigate to the SVG you already have saved and you can just upload it the same way I just uploaded this image. I'm going to use an older SVG, one that I've used previously. Okay, together we make a family. Now, I have not figured out a way to not have the the image take over see how it does this? I have not figured out a way to have that not happen. So I'm still learning how to use Canva. I'm not a Canva professional. There are many people who are. I'm just not one of them. So I'm just going to move this over to where I want it. And then I'll just hit undo until until that doesn't happen anymore. And I have it in the place where I want it. I think this looks good right here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to save this now. I'm going to click File and Save. And I'm going to call this Family Slate. And I'm going to click share. I'm going to click download. I am going to change this to a PDF print. I'm going to click download. And I'm going to give it a chance to download. I'm going to select the PDF. Now I am going to click print. I'm going to go to more settings. I'm going to navigate to print using system dialog. I'm going to go to more settings. I'm going to navigate to my sublimation preset and I am going to do a print preview. This will automatically flip the image so that my words are mirrored the way they are supposed to be. I'm going to click OK. And once I click print, it's going to give me a print preview, which is what I want it to do. So this is perfect. And I'll click print now and everything that I'll do from here will be back on the camera.
As you can see, my image is being printed out and I can already tell this is much too big for what I need because it really should be 7.5 by 5.35. So what I'm going to have to do is print this again, but I have to change my printer settings, the size of the printer settings so that it matches what I requested. So I'm going to have to print this again.
I'm going to click print and I am going to go to more settings. I'm going to make sure that right here where it says scale, that I keep it on default. When I printed the first time, my image was too big because I had it set to fit to paper and it looked like this, and this was the wrong size. So when you are printing from Canva, make sure that you choose scale and go to your system dialog, then go to more settings and then choose your sublimation preset.
This is the correct size that the image was supposed to be printed out. Now I'm going to cut around and remove all of the excess white and I will get this taped down to my slate. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the first image. I am going to get this taped down to the slate and I'm going to be very careful. I'm trying to be very careful to make sure there is no white. Okay, I have the image taped to the butcher paper. Let's move it over here to the heat press. The heat press is heated up to 356 degrees. And I'm going to place this just right here on top. And hopefully I have enough coverage. I do like to fold my butcher paper. It's just a habit. I'm going to place it on there just like that, and I'm going to press this for 450 seconds. All right, our second slate is beeping. I have my heat resistant gloves, and I'm going to carefully remove this. And hopefully looks like there's some scorching. Hopefully it was successfully sublimated. And I am going to turn the heat press off, and I'll just let this sit here. Let's go ahead and reveal the first one and see if I was successful or not. Okay, here's the first slate. Let's get a look at it. It is completely cooled down, and I'm going to peel it and reveal it. A little bit nervous about this. Let's see. Okay, all right. Look. I'm trying to let you be able to see it. Look at this. Oh, okay. So here's the first image. That ring light is too light. Let me turn the ring light off. Hold on one second. Let's look at it again. So this is the first image, and I think it looks fantastic. I do see that right here I did not get close enough to the edge. So, you know, once I do this project again, I'm going to be very, very careful about that. But I do think it came out beautifully, and I think my mom is going to love this. Let me show you how it looks when you put it on this stands that come with it. Looks like this. I think that is gorgeous. I love it, and I know my mom is going to love it too. And maybe if I put it at an angle, she won't see that white edge, but I honestly don't think she's going to know what that means anyway. But I think this looks fantastic. I'm so pleased with how these came out. I'm so excited, super excited. Okay, so now let's go ahead and remove the other one. I know that it has not cooled off yet because even this one was still a little bit warm. But let's look at the second one and see how it came out. So here's the second image. And this one is my family, me and my family, or my family and I. And this slate is very, very hot. Let's carefully peel the tape back. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think it looks fantastic. Okay. It's very, very hot. So this is what the second one looks like. I think that looks amazing. Now I do see some of the debris from the, I don't know if it's from the paper or from the tape, but I'm going to just get a wet cloth and I'm going to wipe that down. Let me grab that and come right back and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I have a wet paper towel, just a wet paper towel with just water. And what I'm going to do is just take it and wipe this off right here. And I think this is very hot. I think this looks fantastic. I love it. Now I also see right here, there's a corner of the white, but it does not bother. I think this looks amazing. I love it. And I hope you love it too. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.